On Oswego Now, summer travel season is right around the corner. How mechanics are responding to the rise in business.
And the 11th annual Laps for Lakers hits the track. How this campus tradition is making a difference.
But first, the end of an era. Ed Gosick retires after years behind the bench for Oswego State men's hockey.
This is Oswego Now.
Good Friday evening. I'm Logan Russo.
And I'm Emily Mike.
We have breaking news from Oswego Athletics. Legendary Lakers hockey coach Ed Gosick has announced his retirement from the program after 23 years as head coach and nearly 30 years with the program.
With more on the shocking decision, our Parker Voris joins us now. Parker, what can you tell us?
Thanks, guys. Ed Gosick has been the head coach of the Oswego men's hockey program since 2003. In that time, he's worked with countless different players, coaches, and staff members, and says he's extremely grateful for all of his experiences here in Oswego. Take a look.
Oh my God, thank you. Thank you. You're the best. You've provided me an unbelievable experience. You're loyal. They respect hard work. And sometimes even though things don't go your way with the final outcome, they've always been the loyal. We got the best fans in Division III hockey. So thank you.
It's the end of a legendary career for Coach Gosick. For more updates or take a look at the full 12-minute interview, head to OswegoNow.net.
Thank you, Parker. Students, faculty, and staff gathered Wednesday inside the Marano Campus Center for Arena for the 11th annual Laps with Lakers. The event invited participants to walk, run, or roll laps throughout the day to raise awareness for sexual and interpersonal violence. Organizers say the goal is to honor survivors while creating conversations about prevention and support resources on campus. According to national statistics, most victims of intimate partner violence experience abuse before the age of 25, including 69% of female victims and 53% of male victims. Organizers say that makes college campuses especially important places for education and prevention efforts.
But our main focus was back then and also is now is dealing with the amount of sexual and interpersonal violence that's out in our world and raising awareness to that, and that it happens here too, and that people need to know that. So we ask people to come and raise awareness and stand for something. And this is our 11th year.
Participants were able to contribute laps in a variety of ways, including walking, running, or using wheelchairs, making the event accessible for everyone in the campus community.
Soon the school year is bound to end, with many preparing for their travels. Our reporter James Fitzpatrick tells us more about how students that prepare to travel are being affected to schedule an appointment at a mechanic.
As the spring semester is starting to come to its conclusion, SUNY Oswego students begin packing up their bags and heading home for the summer. However, for some people, the drive is a lot longer than others. Because of this, students want to make sure their car is in good shape for a safe ride.
It's probably between 10 and 15% busier with all the college kids. Yeah, I don't know what's getting towed in, from over the weekends or whatever. So I try to schedule where we're busy, but not too busy.
Some businesses start to see their appointments pile up at this time of year, even if the job isn't too difficult.
You got a lot of students coming in wanting an oil change before they go home, getting their exhaust checked, getting their brakes checked, or getting new tires because of the fouls.
All customers are advised to make appointments whenever they can, and you'll be squeezed in.
They can make the appointment whenever, as long as we have an open slot, we will get them in. A lot of times they overbook, but we have a full crew there, so we manage to get them taken care of.
If you're a student with a long trip ahead of you, maybe it's time to make an appointment and make sure everything is intact. Reporting for Oswego Now, I'm James Fitzpatrick.
If you are on your way to a long travel soon or want to see if there are any needed changes, making an early appointment at a mechanic is advised.
Now to one of the biggest campus headlines of the year, an update on Johnson Hall.
With more on the Freshman Residence Hall, joining us live now is Oswego Now reporter Eddie McAlpine. Eddie, what can you tell us about the state of the building?
Thanks, Emily. I'm live outside Johnson Hall as the academic year comes to a close, and we can confirm that progress is being made on the building. The freshman res hall was evacuated and students were relocated in October of last semester when mold was discovered growing from the ceiling, walls, and furniture. In a surprising sit-down with Associate Vice President of Facilities and Services, we are now learning that Johnson Hall will be closed for the entire 2026-27 academic year as well. Despite the uncertain status of the building, Mitch Fields tells me that progress is promising.
We're going to do the remediation. So we're going to do the design, have to design it, do the remediation, upgrade the HVAC system, do all the repairs, and then we'll bring it back onto line when we think that we are in a situation where we will not have a reoccurrence. Well, we're looking at all our HVAC systems. We're addressing, things like, do we have similar situations? Where can we intervene?
For now, Johnson Hall remains vacant, but as renovations take place, the future of the building is up in the air. Live at Johnson Hall, Eddie McAlpine, Oswego Now. Emily?
Thanks, Eddie. As we are getting closer to the end of the school year, students are beginning to wonder how to pack things away. Our reporter Soad Hamoud will tell us the process that could be used to help you get set for this summer.
Students are beginning to wonder about the summer storage available at SUNY Oswego. Pam Cahill, director of the college store, says different questions students have been asking her recently about the process they need to follow.
They want to know how to get online to order and what they're able to store. We have 3 different packages they could purchase: a green package, a gold package, and a Lakers package.
Different packages vary in prices due to the equipment they offer. Cahill mentions new procedures to make an appointment to have packages picked up and sent to the storage.
If you click on the summer storage scheduler at the top of the website, it'll have you put your name and your order number, because you have to order first. And then it will bring you to an area where you can schedule for us to pick up your items.
After hearing these procedures, it made me wonder how the equipment is prepared. Dan Mori explains how the packaging is organized.
Right now we have gold packages made up over there.
Okay.
And then we've got Laker packages. And then right behind you are the green packages, which are the smallest package.
As students continue to prepare when their package order is done, they will receive an email once their package is sent. In Oswego, Soad Hamoud, Oswego Now.
To get a package or to make an appointment for pickup after making your order, you can go to bookstore.oswego.edu.
The spring semester is wrapping up with students getting ready for summer vacation, but we still are feeling those cooler temperatures.
I know, Logan. I'm wondering if the cold is here to stay. We're here with Oswego Now meteorologist Aurora Fitzgerald joining us in the studio. Aurora, how are you this evening?
I'm very well, and to answer your question, guys, unfortunately, we're probably going to see those colder temperatures last for at least another week or two. These next 2 weeks are that true transition from winter into spring, bringing also possibly frost, which I will get into later. Taking a look at our 6 to 10 day temperature outlook, it's taken, you see this blue over here, all of that air is coming down from Canada, and this is polar air. It's swooping over the East Coast right now. This is what we're going to continue to see. Out west, they're going to get above normal temperatures, but for us, unfortunately, for a little while, it is going to be quite cold, but I'll have more coming up very soon.
Coming up on Oswego Now, big changes in car technology, how the new tech and expansion are sparking mixed reactions.
Plus, a campus thrift store pop-up for Earth Month, how the event helps students find affordable essentials.
Welcome back to Oswego Now. I'm your meteorologist, Aurora Fitzgerald, taking a look at outside right now from our Hart Hall cam. Not too bad, very, very cloudy, and it is still quite cold out there. Taking a look at current conditions in Oswego right now, 43 degrees. We do have a frost advisory that I will get into later. It's happening from tonight at midnight going into 9 a.m. tomorrow. Pretty chilly out there, feels like 42. Wind, it's a bit breezy, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Very cloudy throughout the region, throughout the area. Fulton, Pulaski, and Phoenix all sitting pretty chilly at 45 degrees. If we take a look at our current temperatures across the state, Syracuse sitting at 56, Plattsburgh 53, Albany close to 60, and of course, Where it gets warmer down south in New York City, 64, and Buffalo is a chilly 42 degrees. Taking a look at tonight, if you have any plans or if you're just chilling, it's 5 o'clock, clouds are going to increase and temperatures are going to fall into the high 30s, which is going to bring that frost advisory. And as we head into 8 p.m., you're probably going to see some scattered showers begin, and that frost advisory shall continue. Not too many showers out there. It'll be good for some of your plants, but the frost, not so much. Saturday planner, if you have any plans on Saturday, in the morning, we do have that frost advisory continuing, so you might see a little frost on the grass, maybe even on your car. 39 degrees. Again, that's not quite 32 degrees, but it's still potential for some frost. Afternoon, it's going to go higher up to 48 degrees. Spotty clouds throughout the day. Evening, it's going to drop to 41 degrees. Again, those cooler temperatures are going to stick around for quite a bit, but you need to protect your plants. What can you do when this frost comes? Do you have a garden? Do you have anything outside? Do you have any plants inside? Well, here are some things that can help. When? This frost advisory is going to happen tonight until 9 a.m. on Saturday. What can you do? Now, to explain it just a little bit, these temperatures are going to reach high 30s, which is not quite the magic temperature of 32 degrees, which is freezing. But with all the humidity in the atmosphere, it still has the potential to stick to the plants and create that dense layer of frost that could hurt the plants because they don't like the cold and neither do we. If you do have any plants outside, if they're in a pot or if they're accessible, take your plants indoors. Make sure they're warm. Definitely take care of them, water them. Make sure they're in an adequate temperature that won't make them wilt. Watch the forecast as well. Making sure that you're watching the forecast will help you keep track of the temperatures and what's going on. Cover your plants. If you have plants that are outside and you can't take them inside, you can cover them with frost blankets. You can cover them with certain fabrics that can help insulate the heat and keep that radiation inside the cloth to keep the plant warmer. And don't plant too early. A lot of people are starting to plant too early. I know my dad is definitely doing that, but I'll have more about how spring has sprung. But for now, back to you, Emily.
Thanks, Aurora. The Oz Thrift has been happening on campus for over a decade, now partnering with different organizations over the years, and is organized by the Office of Sustainability. For low prices like $3 for a t-shirt, the clothes at the Oz Thrift can find a new life. The event comes around as a closer for Oswego's Earth Month efforts.
We receive a ton of clothing donations, up to 30,000 pounds, just from when students leave to when we have it set up for a sale to when they return. So it's a lot of work, a lot of sorting, but our goal is to keep all of that 30,000 pounds out of the landfill.
Again, the Oz Thrift ended yesterday, but students will be able to donate clothes for next year once they are moving out of the dorms. To make a difference keeping our unused clothes out of landfills or to find out more about how to live sustainably, visit oswego.edu/sustainability. As Popeyes and Big Lots are out of service, a 7 Brew will be opening where Popeyes formerly was. Though there is no announcement yet as of when the opening will be happening, a Five Below has also opened recently where Big Lots used to be, and a Maurice's clothing store will be opening next to Five Below. Ford, a name as old as the invention of the car itself. Lately, the company has been making waves. Our Dominic Ciccarelli reports on some of the new technology patents Ford has been applying for and how that's making consumers feel.
Whether you drive a car, a truck, or an SUV, vehicles are a huge part of how we get around central New York. What kind of car do you drive, Nick?
I drive a 2018 Honda Civic.
2024 Ford Maverick. I waited a couple years for.
People love their cars, but like with any industry, sometimes technological advancements can cause some growing pains. Ford Motor Company has applied for patents that have caused quite the stir. Technology for face tracking, biometric data gathering, and even targeted ads based on your conversations. John Metzler, automotive expert and host of the Car Care Clinic radio show on iHeartRadio, weighs in.
As soon as this consumer finds out about it and they understand how that software works, they realize just how overreaching it is and how dangerous it could be.
And when asked about certain technology, these consumers certainly had something to say. How do you feel about that?
I didn't know they were doing ads. That's terrible. I mean, if you ever needed a reason to not buy a Ford, I mean, there you go.
See, strain on human dignity.
But according to Ford dealerships, the basis for that tech isn't even in the cars yet, and most of the new tech in cars is for driver safety.
Or create safer roads.
And that's the goal.
Not as much to worry about, yeah. You don't have to worry about some drunk idiot flying down the highway. And
sensor right here, which tracks your eyes. So again, if you know you're looking out here for more than like 10 seconds, it will tell you to keep your eyes on the road.
I think all manufacturers do that. I mean, it's not just Ford, but Ford as of late has definitely been in the hot seat.
While this car behind me isn't a Ford, it's a 2025 Subaru Ascent. It does have many of the features that people are worried about, and this car is for sale right now. As I climb into this car, the facial recognition software sees me and changes my seat automatically depending on the settings I had the last time I was driving it.
Again, it's part of the times that we live in.
So if you're worried about invasive tech in cars, maybe it's just part of the growing pains of the industry. Dominic Ciccarelli, Oswego Now.
Ford makes up over 17% of all vehicles driven on U.S. roads, with no signs of it slowing down anytime soon, even with the backlash to these patents. Coming up on Oswego Now, sci-fi was suspended following other fraternities on campus. Hear from the person who spoke out.
Good evening and welcome back to Oswego Now with your sports report for tonight. I'm Parker Voris. The Oswego State women's lacrosse team is heading back to the SUNYAC Championship with a chance to defend its conference crown. 1 year after its historic title win over Cortland, the Lakers will once again host the Red Dragons with the championship on the line. Mike Neckers more from Laker Turf Stadium.
1 year ago, Oswego celebrated the SUNYAC Championship after knocking off Cortland in a historic win. Now, the Lakers are back in the exact same spot, hosting the Red Dragons once again. With the SUNYAC Conference title on the line, head coach Britt Howard says the Lakers are up for the challenge.
They come to practice every day, work hard, they compete, they're positive, and they bring a great attitude to the team.
This hard work has gotten the Lakers exactly where they want to be, but this team also knows that the Red Dragons are not a team to be taken lightly.
Keeping our intensity up, our energy. They're a great program, very privileged to be playing them. They're gonna come out hot on Saturday, they're gonna want it as bad as we do. So, we need to stay focused, we need to come ready to play.
While the Lakers know what it takes to win a championship, they say last year's title doesn't guarantee anything. To win, they're gonna need to limit quality looks against a high-powered Cortland offense.
I think we have an amazing defense. I think we work really well together. It's a privilege playing with them because they really don't allow a lot of shots off. So the shots I do see are contested by a defender in front of them, so they allow me to get that good vision on the ball.
Oswego senior Alexis Hill has had a dominant 89-point season so far, placing her third in the SUNYAC. She's hopeful that another championship celebration is just one win away and has a message for Laker fans.
Come support. We all hear you in the stands, and we're doing it for everyone, so go Lakers.
Reporting for Oswego Now, Mike Neckers.
The Lakers and the Red Dragons face off Saturday at 1 p.m. at Laker Turf Stadium with the SUNYAC title and automatic NCAA tournament bid on the line. For Oswego baseball team with the SUNYAC playoffs on the line, the Oswego State Lakers are leaning on their previous dominance over the New Paltz Hawks to carry them through the weekend. After winning the regular season series, the Lakers are looking to use their home field advantage to secure a top spot in the championships. Junior infielder Brogan Olson says the team's confidence has never been higher as prepared to make the life difficult for the New Paltz Hawks.
I think we're the better team. I feel confident that we're going to do what we did last time. We won the series at home, so I think it's a big deal that it's back at home on our home field. I don't know, they made a lot of errors, I think, against us, so I think having that home court advantage, home field advantage will be beneficial for us. Our dugout's going to be loud, screaming. We're going to be getting on the other team. We're going to make it hard for them, and yeah, we're going to keep that confidence high, and we're going to fight for it.
The Lakers certainly aren't lacking fire heading into this win-or-go-home scenario between the recent hot streak and at the plate, and the pitching staff believe the best in the conference. Oswego's looking to peak at the perfect time. The action kicks off this weekend, and the team is calling on all Laker fans to pack the stands and keep the energy high. Moving to basketball, Syracuse basketball continues to add to the roster for the upcoming season with the addition of four-star recruit Ryan Mesh. The 141st best player in the nation is a top 15 point guard who played 3 years of high school basketball at Shenango High School. We spoke to the Central New York native and his former teammate about the next step in his career.
I think it's pretty cool. Being a hometown kid, kind of
playing like in front of everyone, and, like in front of Syracuse. I mean, I grew up being a Syracuse fan. I mean, it's like everyone's like kind of dream. So it's definitely a dream I have. So I'm really excited. I mean,
Brian sees the court different. He's always 2 steps ahead of everyone else, not even one, and he can get his whenever he wants, but he's looking to get other people involved. He just gets the basket whenever he wants. He can shoot, he can pass, he can dribble. He controls the tempo unbelievably well, and
A dream come true for the New York Central native, now playing under head coach Jerry McNamara. Staying with basketball, moving to the pros, we look at the New York Knicks versus the Atlanta Hawks. Game 6, the Knicks lead the series 3-2, and on the road, OG Anunoby gets things started with a 3 from downtown. And this, spoiler folks, would be the OG Anunoby show. Again, another 3 connects. OG Anunoby off to a hot start, as well as the Knicks 25-13 in the first quarter. Again, OG through the contact off the bank. How does he get that to go? Knicks on fire to start this game. They've come to play on the road. The Hawks, they're struggling on offense, and they can't stop number 8. OG Anunoby gets to the rim. Spike Lee in attendance, loving what he's seeing from the New York Knicks. The New York Knicks fans have really traveled well in this playoff series against the Hawks. Again, looking at OG Anunoby getting right to the rack. And again, OG, wide open for 3. How are we letting that happen? He is on fire. He had a game-high 29 points. The Hawks only scored 15 points in the first quarter. And you're not looking. That's the correct score, folks. 67-22, and showtime. Take out your cameras. Mikal Bridges lob in transition from Jalen Brunson. The Knicks are piling it on against the Hawks. The Hawks defense, like I said, non-existent dominance. They're getting dog walked. This looks like a 2K score that I played against my little brother back in the day. And the Knicks still going. OG to the rack. They have to foul him, but it doesn't matter. And 1. OG, the native from Indiana University, is having himself a game in Game 6 against the Hawks. And guys, the end of this first half, the final score is 83-38. The Knicks were up by almost plus 50 points going into the first half. This game was decided by the end of the first half. Not a lot of second half highlights because it's 90-36. The Hawks just had no answer on the defensive end and the offensive end. The final score, 145-89. The Knicks won by 51 points, the largest margin of victory in New York Knicks playoff history. They will await the winner between the 76ers and the Celtics. That will be Game 7 tomorrow night in TD Garden. That's all for Sports Zone. Stay tuned for the 5 o'clock right after this break.
A story just starting to unfold on the SUNY Oswego campus. A student comes forward.
A fraternity put on hold and questions still left unanswered.
Good evening. I'm Logan Russo.
And I'm Emily Mike.
A SUNY Oswego student says that the fraternity Psi-Phi Gamma subjected him to both verbal and physical hazing. And tonight that student wants to share his story.
Oswego Now has confirmed with sources familiar with the investigation that the university has suspended the fraternity for 3 years, followed by a 2-year probation. The student who filed the hazing complaint spoke with our reporter, Dylan Ford.
SUNY Oswego student Joseph Plaza Jr. says he was a member of Psi-Phi Gamma for 3 years. He reported his experience to campus officials in February.
The things that happened to me while being in this fraternity were not right. It took me a semester off to realize and take a step back. All the things that happened, all the things that occurred throughout my time in this fraternity were not positive. They were not constructive. They were not good for me.
Plaza says it was a scene in the movie Marty Supreme when Timothy Chalamet's character gets hit with a paddle that changed his perspective on things.
I sat there not expecting to see the scene, and tears were coming out of my eyes. And I couldn't believe that that was happening. It was the first time that I noticed a trigger. That, specifically, that moment really opened up my mind and realized, wow, this has an effect on me. What I went through was not a joke. And for me to stay silent about it any longer would be doing a disservice to myself.
Plaza says he feels betrayed by his fraternity, but says he's not beyond forgiveness.
I would always accept an apology, you know, and I think that would give me some closure as well.
SUNY Oswego's fraternity and sorority life coordinator responded to our interview request, but we declined to make a comment. We also tried to contact SUNY Oswego's Associate Dean of Students. We did not receive a response. We reached out to Psi-Phi Gamma leadership and they responded saying that the fraternity did not assault anyone and that there is no actionable evidence to charge any of its members at this time. Psi-Phi isn't the only Oswego fraternity this year to face allegations of hazing. The Oswego chapter of fraternity Sigma Tau Chi was expelled from campus last month after an investigation by the university found evidence of hazing. That's all from me. Now back to the desk.
Police did investigate Psi-Phi Gamma fraternity members face no criminal charges. Hazing is illegal under certain circumstances in New York State. Hazing in the first degree is a Class A misdemeanor. Hazing in the second degree is just a violation.
Federal law requires universities to publish a report when any student organization has been found responsible for hazing. We will link you to SUNY Oswego's annual report on our website, oswegonow.net.
Staying with this SUNY Oswego, this semester the campus closed Mahar Hall for construction, an academic building on the west side of campus.
Our reporter Eddie McAlpine joins us live outside of Mahar Hall. Eddie, how are you tonight?
Well, Emily, it's a little buggy out here, but it's a pretty busy scene. As you can see behind me, I've got much more to tell you all. It's a very active scene here behind me at the West Campus Hewitt Quad. There's much construction going on over the last few days with all these construction vehicles here you can see behind me as they've been working on the renovations. I spoke with SUNY Oswego Associate Vice President Mitch Fields about the Mahar Hall complex, about the possibility of seeing inside of Mahar, and he tells me the project is in the abatement phase. It's totally under seal and no one except for licensed workers or trained construction workers are allowed on the site at this time. The school sent out an outage notice in early February alerting students of the shutdown of Mahar and the surrounding area, with renovations taking place over the next 2 years. Between Mahar and Johnson Hall, SUNY Oswego has a lot of on-campus projects to be working on over the coming months. And for now, live at Mahar Hall, the West Campus Hewitt Quad, Eddie McAlpine, Oswego Now. Logan?
Thanks, Eddie. We will continue to update you about Mahar Hall and other campus projects right here on Oswego Now. We're only 15 days away from SUNY Oswego's commencement, and our Oswego Now reporter James Fitzpatrick has the latest on what that means for the city.
Thanks, Logan. That's right, only 15 days until seniors walk across the stage and say goodbye to their school. However, that means the city will get started to get crowded. According to Oswego Tourism Department, there were 8,000 visitors for the SUNY Oswego commencement in 2025. This year, they'll be expecting the same numbers, which means local businesses will have to prepare.
It's one of the weekends that we call blackout weekend here, which means that all of our rates get frozen. We don't offer any discounts, and we sell out every year at both hotels. This hotel and the hotel next door are sister properties. They're owned by the same local owner, and so we sell out at both of them.
At the end of the college school year, that tends to pick up, but after they all go home, everything slows down, and we just get the regular townies, and then when they come back, it picks back up.
Local mechanics, hotels, and even restaurants are preparing for the big day on May 16th. That's all from me. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, James. It's not just local businesses feeling the pressure of graduation season. With the increase in visitors, personnel is up for both of the Department of Public Works, and the police departments. The Codes Department staff was also increased. Mayor Robert Corradino says that they are able to run Code Blitz, which ensures that the streets stay clean.
Things have changed over the years. A good example is this, what we call this code splits. I have a letter on my desk that we're actually preparing right now that we will be sending to property owners, reminding them that they can't leave trash or garbage out by the curb more than 24 hours. That's something that was developed about 9-10 years ago. Try to make sure that the neighborhoods are kept clean.
Furniture must also stay off the streets. For students moving, they can bring their items to the Oswego County Transfer Center, or if in usable conditions, the thrift store.
As Micron promises to bring 45,000 jobs to Central New York, SUNY Oswego plans to expand its Syracuse campus. The renovations involve expanding the branch by 10,000 square feet, adding new classrooms, offices, and a student lounge. The project is expected to be completed by the upcoming fall semester.
So we're very excited about sort of expanding our footprint. The faculty that go down there to teach love it, and we know that the students really love being closer to home. So they get access to the quality education of SUNY Oswego without having to drive an additional 40 minutes.
The campus will also feature a small bookstore and dining options.
Coming up on Oswego Now, the Making It Artswego is wrapping up this semester, how it connects artists with students.
Plus, Abigail Oakley, first stop The Voice, next stop Oswego Music Hall. Find out how to see her.
Welcome back. I'm your Oswego Now meteorologist, Aurora Fitzgerald. I have returned with something very pleasant. Spring has sprung. I know I talked a lot about frost before, but at the same time, it's finally here. Shinneman Hall or anywhere else, you got to go to MCC. These beautiful, beautiful trees have all their beautiful flowers. They are fully dressed and ready to impress. Thank you to Soad Hamoud for sending me that picture. And I'm walking through campus, and sometimes I just like to take pictures of flowers. Spring has sprung. It's absolutely beautiful. Taking a look at these two different colored daffodils, they're just gorgeous. They put a smile on your face. Take a moment to step out and smell the flowers. Hyacinths, my grandmother's favorite and also my favorite, very potent smell, but they're absolutely beautiful. One of the first signs of spring is actually hyacinths and daffodils, and it brings a smile to everybody's faces. Although the frost is coming, we still have something to look forward to. But unfortunately, people might not be looking forward to this. Although spring has sprung, that also means allergies. Taking a look at our allergy forecast, grass, tree, and ragweed pollen, it's medium. I would say it's about moderate. It's not too high, but you're probably definitely sneezing, sniffling, itchy, watery, red eyes. I've been there. Make sure to take your allergy medications because pollen is only going to get worse from here, but it'll eventually subside. And now I do have really, really fun news, however. The Eta Aquariids meteor shower. If you don't have plans for Mother's Day or you want early plans, May 5th and 6th is the peak of this meteor shower. Where can you see it though? What you're going to do, you're going to look southeast, you're going to lay on your back with your feet pointing up towards the sky, and then you're going to let your eyes adjust for about 20 to 30 minutes. Make sure you're also in a place with very minimal light pollution so you can see the beautiful stars, and be patient. There should be about 10 meteors that are going to fly by the night sky each hour, and you might get a chance to see one. Now, how is this happening in the first place? Now, this does happen every few years, but this is actually the debris from the Halley's Comet, which orbits the sun at 76 years. It takes 76 years just for this to orbit the sun once. But its debris, once it comes back into our solar system, actually is these comets. And now the actual comet's not going to be back till 2061, but you might get a chance to see the debris that it has, which is very beautiful. Taking a look at our 5-day forecast, Saturday 47, again, these temperatures are going to stay pretty chilly. Unfortunately, going into the weekend and heading into the week, 59, 60, 57. The rain's going to return, unfortunately. Sunday, not too bad, pretty chilly, but the sun's going to be out if you have any plans. And for the last week of classes, might be pretty drowsy and dreary, but hopefully you can stop and smell the flowers. That's all for my full weather forecast. Back to you.
Thanks, Aurora. A singer from the hit TV show The Voice is going to be coming to the Oswego Music Hall on May 9th. Tickets are $20 for the general public and $10 for students. Tim Neckritz, the marketing chair at the hall, sat down to talk about the show and how the artistic director got Abigail Oakley to perform.
We caught Abigail at one of these showcases 2 years ago, was very, very impressed, and ended up reconnecting, signed her. She doesn't have an agent yet, but he signed her to come in, and then that's about the time he found out that she was on The Voice. And then when we sort of saw the very first clip, she starts singing. All three of the judges turn around.
The Oswego Music Hall is celebrating 50 years soon and is continuing to bring musicians, creators, and the community together. The 23rd Annual Archon Pop Culture Convention kicks off tomorrow. Organized by the Storytellers Guild, Archon is a weekend-long celebration of all things pop culture. Attendees can dive into role-playing games, video games, movie marathons, and cosplay, just to name a few. Plus a variety of...
Archon's a really fun event that we run all throughout MCC. It's a ton of fun. We run a ton of different events, such as board games, card games, video games, movies, D&D, seminars, and presentations. You should come and join us and have a great time.
Plus, a variety of vendors will set up shop in Artists Alley inside the Murano Campus Center. WNYO's 24-hour Radiothon fundraiser is back next week, marketing its third year of nonstop broadcasting for a cause. The Radiothon kicked off at 5 p.m. today and runs straight through till 5 p.m. tomorrow, featuring student hosts bringing you music, talk, and news around the clock. The event is held in partnership with the Oswego County Opportunities and University Police. After the break, Emily and I sit down to talk about a petition to improve Oswego River safety. It's been almost 2 months since local celebrity and Uber driver Joshua Barber, also known as Uber Josh, lost his life driving into the Oswego River. His death has brought concerns over the lack of safety barriers along the riverbed.
Logan and I sat down with Michael Howell, a close friend of Josh and an Oswego resident, who is using change.org to help spread awareness and push for better preventative measures so more events like this don't happen again.
And we're sitting here with Michael Howell, who is the creator of a petition at change.org to help add barriers, protective barriers, along the Oswego River with all of the recent events and deaths in the Oswego River. Michael, thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me.
Thank you. Of course. Now, just give me a little bit of background on the petition and just why it's such an important topic to you.
It shouldn't have to go to this far, but it's a preventive measure to make sure our riverfront stays safe and make sure no other incidences happen like what happened in March or what happened last summer with another female. We're just trying to, make some noise and, make things happen so nobody has to go through what we've all seen in the past year over on the waterfront or in the community in general.
Now, Mike, can you tell me a little bit about what makes advocating for this change meaningful to you?
All of it. I mean, I'm sick of hearing, hey, someone else went in the river. We're sick of the heartbreak that comes with it, and it shouldn't. There shouldn't be red tape. Like, this should have been stopped a long time ago, and it's just sick of worrying. Sick of worrying when you hear a call come in like, another river incident. Like, why are we still doing this? Why? It's 2026. This needs to end. We need to end the red tape. City needs to act, or the state, or whoever it may be in charge of that riverfront, get this in place now. Prevent more deaths, because like you said, it's not just the two. There's been other ones over the years. People on the bridges. It's not just the the riverbed. It's all of it. It's the whole waterfront stuff.
There's been a lot. We spoke with Mayor Corradino previously. He came on after the death of who's known on campus as Uber Josh. You knew him as Josh, and he discussed some of the topics. But it seems like there seems to be a disconnect between making the talking points, but action being done as well.
Right.
So how do you feel about that?
I mean, this should have been a no-brainer. I mean, Monday morning, after the accident. They should have been all right, let's get some barricades down there. We'll deal with the paperwork later. Let's get something down there to prevent another car from going on. You can still go down there. There was still a car sitting down there the other day. I mean, it's not like you can prevent, another car. There's no drop off. You hit that fence, it's over. The road ends at that fence. So it takes somebody that's not from around here that, they could accidentally go in, and then we're back in a full circle again. There should be no red tape. It should be, let's deal with this now, and then we'll go back and maybe make it better, enhance it, look for grants or whatever we need to do.
Now, again, can you tell me a little bit more about how, your connection with Josh and kind of how this kind of hits home for you?
Josh was, he was my best friend. I worked downtown, and I was often his first pickup of the night. And, you don't drive downtown if you didn't have to. Cars get vandalized, people bump into, it's a mess. It's easier, you only live down the road. So I text him, hey, 7:30, want to come scoop me? We'll go start doing rides. And, he dropped me off. And then near the night, 3 o'clock, 3:30, whatever it may be, hey, I'm ready to go home whenever you are. And he's like, yeah, I'll come get you. We decompressed the night, and there was just more than that. We'd go talk, and he was just, we both we were the sober person at the end of the night we could vent to. Hey, this happened. He was always that person I could rely on. When things got sticky, he could get me home, or if I had to get somebody home safely, he was that person I would call. We were very connected in more ways than just rides, and a lot of in-depth conversations, everything from what he was doing with his life, what I was doing, our personal family lives. He knew just as much of my family as I knew of his. And now I deal with his sister every weekend. Sweet girl. But yeah, it hit home, and it hit home hard. And and that should have been a wake-up call for the city. The one person that's responsible for driving people home didn't make it home that night.
Yeah.
On one of the bigger nights of going out, the bigger weekends, the St. Patrick's Day weekend.
Michael, thank you for joining us. And really quickly, if they could find your petition online, where could they find that?
Change.org. I don't know the exact way. We'll send you the link. You can post it. We'll post it up there, and you can go on there. I think we're at 330 plus signatures, and it's still growing. It's actively being shared everywhere, all over. I think we have signatures on a lot of states right now. I don't know how many states exactly. I don't know the actual analytics of it, but we'll post the link, and you can find it. I think a lot of the social media places, I know Wanzone's probably have shared it. Wacko, Gringo, along with some of the downtown bars and stuff. So. You can find my social media, Mike Howell or DJ Mike. I have it on there. You can post it, and it's also on Facebook. I'm sure you can stumble across it, but we'll send you guys a link. And
thank you. Well, I appreciate your time, Michael. And back in August of last year, a 24-year-old woman crashed into the river, and a few months before that, in May, a 14-year-old boy lost his life after jumping into the frigid waters.
After multiple deaths in the Oswego River, Michael says that whoever is in charge of the river needs to take charge of safety as well.
Coming up on Oswego Now, all things graduation, a preview for the upcoming commencement speech.
Plus, how students feel about wrapping up this semester.
Spring 2026 is coming to a close and students are getting ready to celebrate with the campus-wide tradition, Ozfest. The day will start with carnival rides and food trucks in the parking lot behind MCC, then a campus picnic, and it will wrap up with a Boogie with Da Hoodie performance in the Deborah F. Stanley Arena. Tickets must be purchased in advance through the SUNY Oswego box office.
The Oswego Alumni Association has named Jamal Akintukur the 2026 Outstanding Senior. The international student from Lagos began college at just 15 and will graduate this May at 19. A criminal justice major with a 3.69 GPA, he served as president of the International Student Association, a resident assistant, and a campus leader across multiple organizations.
I'm just grateful. I think the award is more of a reflection. It's a testament to show like how far I've come. It's a reflection of how I've spent my college career more than anything. I think the award is an accomplishment, but the bigger accomplishment is what it reflects and represents.
This is just the beginning for Akintukur. He'll receive his award on May 15th at the Commencement Eve reception, but he doesn't plan on stopping his education. He wants to get his master's degree and even stay here in Oswego.
3 SUNY Oswego alumni will take the stage as commencement speakers May 16th, including entrepreneur Indy Lee. Lee, the founder of Indy Lee Co., will keynote the College of Business and Entrepreneurship ceremony. After surviving a life-threatening diagnosis, she built a global clean beauty brand focused on healthy living and self-acceptance.
It really taught me how to be an independent thinker, right? And how to advocate for myself, which is something that I never really had learned. Like I was sheltered, I guess, to be quite honest with you. But it taught me the importance of kind of being an independent thinker and speaker, and that if you want something, you have to speak up for it.
She'll be joined by scientist William Precht and finance leader Stephen Messina, as all 3 receive honorary degrees.
SUNY Oswego is celebrating inclusivity before graduation with Pride Alliance's Lavender Graduation. The event will take place May 7th, honoring LGBTQ+ students and their allies on campus. Lavender Graduation is open to all students, whether they identify as LGBTQ+ or simply want to show support. Vice President of Pride Alliance, Haley Lord, gives us a little insight on how Lavender Graduation began. So graduation right around the corner.
Yeah, I know, it's coming up fast. It's coming up fast. You're going to be graduating this semester and I'm next semester, so we have a lot to look forward to.
Makes me feel pretty dated.
Yeah, I know, right? Really went by pretty fast, a lot faster than I thought.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Well, graduation is just over 2 weeks away, leaving seniors with bittersweet sentiment over their futures.
I got to talk to some seniors on campus about advice, their post-grad plans, and more.
What I've learned is that you always have to take advantage of all the opportunities that are available. It's always okay to try new things. It's good for the soul to try new things. You will gain new experiences and learn new stuff and meet new great people through it.
Okay, so right now I have a job offer coming through. We just have to negotiate on the price of it. And then if that doesn't work out, I plan on going back to my family's business back in Queens.
Put yourself more out there and don't be scared to go for it.
Zany, funny, and wholesome.
Freedom, exhilarating, and nerve-wracking.
Fun, transformative, and eye-opening. I'll go with my advisor.
I'd have to say my best friend, Lucia.
My mom.
On campus, my boss, she's also the best. She's like my on-campus mom.
My mom.
The friends I met along the way. With you.
That was great watching. I just highlighted you, Emily. We have another great graduating senior as well, our meteorologist, Aurora Fitzgerald. Happy graduation.
Thank you so much.
I will say, I'll miss both of you much.
We're going to miss you too.
We'll miss you too.
Sorry. I'm not. No, all right. I'll correct myself here. Well, either way, I'm really happy for you guys, and I wish you guys the best of luck. That's our news for tonight.
For the latest updates, make sure to check out OswegoNow.net. Have a good night.